You run on the treadmill. You do crunches until you can't anymore. You eat the salad without dressing. And yet, every morning, that stubborn belly fat is still there, looking back at you in the mirror, as a frustrating reminder that your effort is useless. The truth is you're attacking the wrong enemy. The secret to losing belly fat after 30 isn't at the gym, it's at your work desk, at 9 a.m. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the woman staring back at you. The iron discipline that brought you career success seems useless against that stubborn belly fat, which settled in comfortably after you turned 30. You hear it at the salon, from friends, maybe even from your doctor, that it's your age, that your metabolism slows down, and you feel sentenced to a losing battle. I know this sentence because I received it myself. At the peak of my career, while my resume shone, my body showed signs of collapse, and the abdominal fat was the most visible symptom of a much larger internal war, a war of stress and hormonal imbalance. I am the sovereign of vitality, and today, I am here to tear up that sentence. The truth is, the fault isn't your age. The fault, ironically, is your success. And I will prove to you how your most productive habits are your body's biggest traitors. In this decree, I will not ask for more effort. I will give you more intelligence. I will reveal the 3 scientific secrets I use to finally lose my belly fat without needing a gym. Prepare to unlearn everything you've been told about losing the belly after 30. The other day I was at a hair salon and I overheard the conversation that happens in every salon in the world. A woman was venting to her hairdresser, and her words were an echo of what I myself have felt and what you probably feel. "It's amazing," she said. "It seems like after 30 it's all downhill." She continued, and every word was an accurate diagnosis of the pain many of us feel. The metabolism seems to slow down. Even eating the same things as always, the fat stubbornly appears, especially on the belly. The hair starts to thin, the skin gets saggier. It's a feeling that you are losing the battle against time. And of all these frustrations, the most visible one, the one that bothers you most when you get dressed for an important meeting, is that belly fat. The one that didn't exist at 25, but now, after 30, seems to have arrived with a permanent lease, no matter how many crunches you do or how many salads you eat. Most people, and perhaps even some health professionals, will tell you this is normal. That it's your metabolism slowing down with age and that you just need to eat less and exercise more. They hand you a sentence of conformity, not a strategy of power. But I am here to give you a decree of liberation. This belly fat has nothing to do with your age. It has a name, a cause, and most importantly, a solution. The root cause is not a slow metabolism. It's a hormonal imbalance commanded by stress. I know this because I lived this turning point myself. In my late 20s, my body seemed invincible. But right at 30, at the peak of my career performance, even while maintaining discipline, the abdominal fat appeared and refused to leave. The answer I found was not on the gym treadmill. It was in my biochemistry. When you live under the constant pressure of your career and responsibilities, your body produces an excess of one hormone, cortisol, the famous stress hormone. And cortisol, at chronically high levels, gives a very clear order to your body. We are in danger. Store as much energy as possible in the safest, most accessible area. And that area, my dear, is your belly. Cortisol is a master at directing fat storage specifically to the abdominal region. It's an ancient survival mechanism that, in our modern world of chronic stress, has turned against us. It's the cruelest paradox of the high-performing woman. The same ambition and pace that grant you professional success are the ones that are silently building the belly that frustrates you most. Your success is literally feeding your biggest physical insecurity. So the first step is to stop blaming yourself, thinking it's a lack of effort, and stop blaming your age. You are not fighting against time. You are fighting against a hormonal imbalance. And a hormonal battle is not won with more crunches. It is won with more intelligence. But if the cause is cortisol, how do we win this war? It's not by declaring war on stress, which would only generate more stress. A sovereign strategy is smarter. The first step is to identify the success habits that, without your knowledge, are keeping your cortisol levels sky high. And the answer to that is our next step. You built your career on habits that got you here, habits that the corporate world applauds as synonyms of productivity and commitment. But some of these same habits are the ones that are silently keeping your body in a state of alarm and building the fat you fight so hard to lose. Let's unmask the first saboteur. The first is how you start your day. You wake up and the first thing you do is grab your phone to check emails, injecting a dose of stress into your system before you even put your feet on the ground. Then you drink a strong cup of coffee on an empty stomach to wake up and save time. This seems like the routine of an efficient woman, but to your body, it's a signal of chaos. Your cortisol is already naturally high in the morning to wake you up. By adding caffeine and the stress from emails before any nutrition, you are throwing kerosene on that hormonal fire. You start the day in fight or flight mode, and this chronic state is a direct command for your body to store fat. The second saboteur is your optimized lunch. You skip lunch for a meeting or eat a quick salad in 5 minutes in front of your laptop to not waste time. You take pride in your ability to multitask. But for your body, skipping a meal or eating hastily and stressed is a sign of danger, of scarcity. Your blood sugar plummets, which forces your body to release more cortisol to handle the emergency. This not only promotes fat storage, but also sets you up for overeating at the next meal, as your desperate body will seek a quick reward. I saw this with a client, a bank director who was famous for her ability to work through lunch. She couldn't understand her stress belly and her uncontrollable craving for sweets at 4 p.m. Her solution wasn't a diet. It was to decree a 20-minute screen-free break for a real lunch. That alone began to regulate her cortisol and her cravings. The third saboteur is your punitive workout. After a stressful 10-hour day, you go to the gym and subject yourself to a high-intensity class or run for an hour on the treadmill to burn off stress. You believe that more sweat and more effort are the answer. But in a body already drowning in cortisol, an exhaustive workout is not a relief. It is just another stressor. It can raise your cortisol levels even higher, worsening inflammation and making it even harder to burn abdominal fat. You are not burning off stress. You are adding more stress to an already overloaded system. A sovereign's mindset shift is to trade the more is better philosophy for smarter is better. It's about stopping the fight against your biology and starting to work with it, using strategies that calm and balance you instead of further depleting you. Now that you've unmasked the habits that sabotage you, you must be asking, okay, Sovereign, so what do I do? The answer isn't in a restrictive diet, but in a strategic upgrade. And it all starts with the Power Breakfast Protocol. You will not start your day with restriction. You will start your day with power. The Power Breakfast Protocol is your first decree to take control of your cortisol and teach your body to use fat as fuel instead of storing it. The goal of this first meal is twofold. First, to stabilize your blood sugar to avoid the spikes and crashes that generate sugar cravings. Second, to provide the raw material your hormones need to operate in harmony, sending a signal of calm and satiety to your brain. The structure of this breakfast is based on 3 non-negotiable pillars. The first is protein. Think eggs, full-fat Greek yogurt, or a high-quality protein powder. Protein is what gives you real satiety and signals to your body that it has the building blocks it needs. The second pillar is elite fat. Avocado, olive oil, walnuts, almonds, chia seeds. Healthy fats are the mothers of your hormones. Without them, your system falls out of balance. They are also essential for keeping your energy stable for hours on end. The third and final pillar is fiber, mainly from vegetables. A handful of spinach in your eggs, some kale in your smoothie. Fiber feeds your army of good gut bacteria and ensures that the energy from your meal is released slowly and steadily. So, what does this look like on a plate? Think 2 or 3 eggs scrambled in olive oil with a handful of spinach and half a sliced avocado on the side. Or a smoothie with protein powder, a spoonful of chia seeds, and a spoonful of almond butter. Note that there is no bread, no sugar. This is the exact opposite of coffee with toast or a bowl of cereal. Those traditional breakfasts are a sugar bomb that starts the cycle of insulin spikes, energy crashes, and consequently, the storage of belly fat. I used to live on coffee and toast in the morning. I called it efficiency. In reality, it was the perfect recipe for the 3 p.m. fatigue and the stress belly. Switching to a power breakfast was the change that gave me stable energy for the first time in years. Mastering this first secret is already a huge victory. But to get the complete battle plan with the step-by-step strategies for lunch, dinner, and snacks that will help you master cortisol and melt your belly once and for all, I compiled the entire map in my new practical guide, The End of the Stress Belly. For the sovereigns ready to execute the complete plan, the link is in the first pinned comment. Now that you've shielded your morning against cortisol, let's move to the second secret. It involves a type of movement you can do in just 10 minutes in your living room that is more effective for belly fat than an hour of running on a treadmill. The second secret to melting belly fat goes against everything the fitness industry has taught you for decades. You were told you need to sweat in rivers, run to exhaustion, and feel the pain to deserve the results. This is another lie that keeps you tired and frustrated. The fatal mistake is believing that high-intensity, long-duration cardio exercises are the solution for the stress belly. As we've seen in a body already flooded with the stress hormone cortisol, this type of workout is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It only increases stress and inflammation. The sovereign movement is not about punishment, it's about intelligence. It is a low-intensity movement focused on two things: building lean muscle mass and calming your nervous system. The goal is not to burn calories in one session, but to regulate hormones for life. Why does this work? Muscles are the most metabolically active tissue in your body. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories your body burns, even at rest. Muscle is your metabolic engine. It also drastically improves your insulin sensitivity, helping your body manage blood sugar and store less fat. So, what is this magic movement? The first is walking. Yes, simple and powerful. A 20 to 30-minute walk per day, especially after meals, helps control blood sugar spikes and reduce cortisol levels, particularly if done outdoors in the sunlight. The second is strength training, and you don't need a gym for it. Bodyweight exercises are extremely effective. Think squats, lunges, wall push-ups, and planks. 10 to 15 minutes 3 times a week is all you need to start signaling your body to build muscle, not to store fat. I traded my 1-hour treadmill runs, which left me exhausted and hungrier, for walks in the park and 15 minutes of these strength exercises at home. In a month, my body began to change in a way that hours of cardio never could. I was less stressed, stronger, and the belly fat finally began to diminish. A sovereign's mindset is to stop thinking of exercise as a way to punish yourself for what you ate, and start seeing it as a way to command your hormones, to build a stronger and more metabolically efficient body for the rest of your life. Consistency in intelligent movements will always beat sporadic, punitive intensity. Remember, you are not training for a marathon of suffering. You are building the body of a queen who governs with wisdom, not with brute force. You now have the strategy for your morning and for your movement. But what about the third and perhaps most impactful secret? It has to do with something you don't do, which is sabotaging your nightly recovery and keeping your cortisol high. And so the 3 secrets have been revealed. You now understand that the battle against belly fat after 30 is not one with more effort, but with more intelligence. It's not about punishment, it's about hormonal strategy. You have learned to command your morning with an anti-cortisol breakfast, to move your body in a sovereign way to build muscle instead of more stress, and to transform your nights into a recovery sanctuary to finally get your hormones working for you. The final reward is not just the trousers that close without a struggle. It is the vibrant energy you feel when you wake up. It is the mental clarity to command your workday. It is the tranquility of knowing that you are no longer at war with your body, but that you two, together, are building an empire of vitality. The decree is made. If you have decided to abandon the strategies that frustrate you and adopt the wisdom that empowers you, your journey begins now. Subscribing to this channel is your public declaration that you are taking command of your biology. Subscribe and activate notifications because winning the belly fat battle is what gives you back your confidence. But to have the fuel for your empire, you need energy. In our next decree, we will attack chronic fatigue at its root. The topic is, I recovered my energy. The secret doctors don't tell you about fatigue. Your empire needs this intelligence.